Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode number 95. This one I'm only reviewing just the news of the anime. One step ahead of the dream, Shirahoshi's Path to the Sun. Yep. Now, this I think is a little weird. Now, those of you probably thinking, okay, you got, was there a new chapter released in manga this week? As far as I can tell, no. For some reason, I have no idea why this is. Apparently, both One Piece and My Hero Academia just didn't bother to release a book this week at all. I mean, there was nothing at the end of the previous chapters that says that, well, that the book is going on break. Yeah, there was nothing, like absolutely nothing. I look at the last week's chapter. There was nothing that said that this week was going on break. It just somehow just didn't release a new chapter. But let's talk about this newest episode of the anime, which adapts the rest of chapter 905, which is basically pages 8 to 14 and 16 and 17. Yep. With this episode, we have mostly it's focused on Shirahoshi, a lot of focus on her, and Sabo. Yep, it's a little bit all over in the other island, where you have Betty, the woman who showed up in last, I think it was like just a couple episodes back, the woman who basically walked on with her shirt open, Corolla, who I think who it's implied that she might be having a thing. I wouldn't mind if she and Sabo hooked up because, well, they fit perfectly with each other. And of course, they briefly talk about, like in this scene, like even though they have the Fishman Island, the Rigu Kingdom at this particular thing, that their goal is not to take down the world government. Their goal is to take down the Celestial Dragons, people who rule it. Interesting plan. Now, as for the other stuff, Sabo, of course, we see him in the episode. You see basically a recap of his little backstory that was shown in the post-war arc, the episodes that happened just before the time skip in the anime. Yeah, basically the flashback of him working with Ace and getting up money. Of course, before he goes back to his royal family, of course, he leave, and of course, the parent death at the hand of a slash Jack, which I don't know who this guy is. And of course, he made it with Dragon. Some of the stuff was also partially recapped during the events of Dressrosa. They don't show Dressrosa, surprisingly, this episode. No, there's no recap of that. And of course, you also see Sabo knocking out the guard and getting close to the king of Goya, who is his adoptive younger brother. And that's all you see of him, which, well, in the case of what Garp is up to, you see him walking with the royal family, and of course, Shirahoshi referred to him as Luffy Sama's grandfather Sama. Which, from what I can tell, he has no problem being called that at all, despite the fact his name is Garp. He has no problem referring to what Shirahoshi referred to him as. He's not correcting her. Yeah, it's that she knows that he is Luffy's grandfather, and, well, she refers to him as Luffy's grandfather. Okay. That's perfectly fine from his perspective. And of course, he's eating what looks like he's eating cookies. I'm like, he's one of two admirals who's currently do that. The other, of course, is the inspector general, who has no authority. Yeah. And you see Shirahoshi just walking the street. You see King Neptune picking up King Shelly by his head, little finger, just picking up what very gently. He's like, and he's so shocked at seeing the royal family. He didn't know what these people were. He doesn't know this is the royal family of Fishman Island. And we see Shirahoshi getting on the platform. This whole thing has showed up a couple episodes back, and they're going to go up to the top of the red continent. She sees the sun for the first time. Gets a chance to go look at the sun, the sky. Points, and this is actually now. There's this moment where she's walking the platform. She points out a tree. Is that what we call a forest? No, it's just a tree. That is actually pulled directly from the manga. That's no change at all. This is something added here, but no really major changes. One thing I love with this anime. They don't really change much of anything. If they do change anything, it's rare, but they added stuff that makes sense. Like Garp encountering King Shelly, who is an annoying prick, and he says your face is annoying, and yeah. I mean, he doesn't want to upset him, but he doesn't really care for the guy at all because, yeah, he says, oh, I want to become a Slasher Dragon. And he's like, you want to become a scumbag like them? Yeah, that's literally what he says. Yeah, because he doesn't like the Slasher Dragons at all. Nope. Of course, they go up, and of course we have Sabo, still disguised as a guard, briefly mentions to King Shelley that he would be fine. And of course, seeing those crows, I thought it was so funny though that he saw one of the generals basically pop the one head built to crawl on the ground, and one who basically looked like crows. Now, I should point out some of these kings are basically parodies of, or at least based upon real life people. Like there's one that is basically based on Abe Lincoln. The other one's of course parody at what the rare things people in Mexico look like. So and his name is King Taco, actually king of the Taco Kingdom. Yeah, it's like he just ran out of names for a lot of these countries. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I'm glad the fact in this episode they actually finished adapting chapter 905. But why the heck would it need to take 3 full episodes to do this? Who the heck knows? Now, this arc has roughly got 3 chapters left to adapt. But who knows how much that chapter 906 will take up. But next week's episode is an episode I'm looking forward to. Shirahoshi meeting Vivi and Rebecca for the first time. I have been looking forward to this. So, stay tuned next week for episode 96, where it's good. The next 6 episodes called I Miss Him, Vivi and Rebecca's Sentiments. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Now, my next video is going to be a comic corner and a movie review, and then of course there'll be also planning reviewing Dragon Ball Super and Baruto 252. What are you doing, Bailey? I'm gonna get a moving phone at 300. Well, it's almost 3 now. Let me know when it's 3. Okay. Yeah, so until you see the next video, bye.